Hi guys, thought I'll make a little video about where and when to use overdrive and distortion pedals and the very basic difference between them. But I remember when I was starting off, I was very confused between overdrive and distortion pedals. I really didn't know the difference. So thought I'll make a little video on this. Well, basically an overdrive pedal is a pedal which sort of pushes the amp, an already distorted amp, even harder. So especially amps that are not solid state, the amps that are tube or valve amps, so, the overdrive pedal pushes those tubes harder, wherein they produce even more harmonics. So those amps become harmonically enriched through the pushing of the valves or loading of the valves or tubes by the overdrive pedal. So fundamentally, now there are exceptions to this, of course, exceptions to everything, but fundamentally you use an overdrive pedal with an already cranked up distorted amp or an amp which is almost distorted, depending on what kind of sound you're chasing and what kind of a player you are. Now, in contrast, a distortion pedal is used with a clean amp, or should be used with a clean amp. Now again, there are exceptions, but when you're starting off, this is how you start off with. So you have a clean amp, you like the sound of your clean amp and the clean sound of your amp, and you want to add a little distortion. So then you don't use your overdrive pedal, you go in for a distortion pedal. Now the difference is a distortion pedal adds its own harmonics to the clean amp, which the clean amp or the power amp stage of the amp amplifies. So your tone, then your distorted tone, comes from your distortion pedal. So the better the tone of your distortion pedal, the better the distorted sound you're going to get, because then your amp, your clean amp is just going to amplify those harmonics and overtones that your distortion pedal is producing. And of course, once once saturation kicks in, or distortion kicks in and saturates, and you also get sustain and all those things. An overdrive pedal shouldn't be doing that. An overdrive pedal shouldn't be adding its own tone to your amp. It should only be pushing your amp to produce to its sweet spot. And now you need to know the sweet spot of your amp. You need to tune in, crank it up and see what the sweet spot is, and then use your, so you have your rhythm tone. You already have a cranked up amp and it sounds great, sounds incredible. And then you or an amp which is on the edge of cranking up, it's and or the edge of breakup, as they say, and then your overdrive pedal pushes it. And really, your overdrive pedal shouldn't be coloring the tone of your amp. It's only there to push the amp or to complement the sound of the amp, the tone of the amp, not really to color the tone of your amp. If your overdrive pedal is doing that, then you have a mismatch. So it's critical to select an overdrive pedal, whether you're using amp modelers like Helix or Fractal or any such, neural DSP perhaps, any amp modeler, or I have an actual amplifier, and you want an overdrive pedal, then you need to try out various overdrive pedals that won't color the sound of your amp, because the tone of your amp, the tone of your guitar should be coming through your amp, not really through any of those other overdrive pedals or boost pedals or whatever. But that's not the case with distortion pedals. In the case of distortion pedals, your tone of your distortion or your distorted tone is not from the amp, it's from the pedal itself. Your amp is simply there to amplify whatever signal is getting into the front end of the amp. So this is the basic difference. Now again, like I said, there are exceptions, but when you're starting off, this is the basic thing. So you have a great sounding valve amp. So when you hunt for amps, your tone really should come from the amp. If you're going to use an amp distorted, if you're going to crank it up. But if you're going to have a clean amp, and you want to add a little distortion to it, then the distorted tone comes from your pedal and not really from the amp. So this is the gist of it. So I hope this video puts a little insight into these differences between an overdrive pedal and a distortion pedal, and hope it helps you out. Right? Thanks a lot for watching. Ciao.